I'm Richard Gearhart, an intellectual property attorney.
I'm Elizabeth Gearhart. I work at Gearhart Law, owned by Richard Gearhart.
And welcome to Passage to Profit, everybody, the show that's about entrepreneurs, startups, innovators, and the intellectual property that helps them flourish. Tonight, we have an extraordinary guest, Eric Edmeades, and, and he is absolutely marvelous speaker, entrepreneur, and you're absolutely going to be wowed by what he has to say.
And then we have two incredible presenters. We have Renee Adams with Hoppy Poppy. And if your kid is struggling, because all kids do when they're trying to figure out their way in the world, she has wonderful tools to help. And also, after her, we have Brian Rohde with Acumen. Men, how does your shirt look right now? If it doesn't look good, Brian can
Brian's
fix
going to
that.
help you with that one. So
So,
that's absolutely fantastic. So, but before we get to our distinguished guests, it's time for IP in the news. So, who is IP in the news about tonight?
well, it's about a guy who's a football player who's not quite wealthy enough, or maybe he just wants to have fun on the side. So he's starting his own clothing line, it looks like, and he got a trademark on one of his signature moves.
So, what's the big deal with that?
Well, Matt Judon, who
Right.
used to be on the Ravens, just signed with the Patriots for a 4-year, $26 million contract.
Pocket
Would be
change to
nice.
us at Passage to Profit, right?
Right. But he's known for his dancing when he does a good tackle on the
Oh,
field.
yeah, I've seen that happen at football games a lot.
So he came up with this really cool like design picture that kind of reflects his dance move, one of his dance moves, and he applied for a trademark for it to put it on apparel and things.
And I have to say, in all my years as a trademark lawyer, patent lawyer, I cannot think of one time where somebody has ever tried to trademark a dance move. So, or at least, or even an image of a dance move. So I think that's a pretty creative approach. And I would imagine that the trademark on is part of the branding for this, right? Because he can say, I've got my trademarked dance move.
Absolutely, absolutely. And he's very popular with a lot of his fans. So
Yep.
I'm sure he'll do well with it. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now it's time for Richard's Roundtable. And I'd like to invite our distinguished guests to comment on what they just heard, or you can ask a general question about intellectual property. So, first to Eric. Eric, welcome to the show.
Hey, good to be here. I love intellectual property conversations, so it's going to be fun.
Okay.
Well, that makes
Well,
you
my
somewhat
I
unique.
think that, yeah, I was going to say you fall into a special category.
yeah, I was dropped, I think. But the first thing I'd say is that Zumba did patent what it would be an abstract dance move and turned it into a part of $1 billion brand that people have literally tattooed onto their bodies, which I think is always a good mark of a well-developed brand. Ink it onto themselves. But then also, Michael Jordan didn't tattoo. They didn't, Nike and Air Jordan didn't tattoo a patented dance move. They patented a jumping, leaping through the air, and did incredibly well. Then turned it into one of the most recognized brands in the world. And then I just want to offer you one thought because it sounds like you're a little jaded. Like he makes enough money anyway. Why does he need another patent? But I would just say this, or copyright is I suppose what we're really talking about. But I would just say that I remember there was a point where Disney was going to lose their copyright protection on Mickey.
Right.
And then they were defending it. And I was like, come on, how much money do you need that mouse to make you? And then I saw an interview where they described it like this. Children are buying toys and t-shirts and things with that mouse on it because of the trust that we've created over the last 50 years. And if we allow that trademark to expire, then everybody is going to use it and trade upon our trust and sell bad quality, potentially even dangerous things to children. And so we must protect the trust that we created with the. And I have to say, it's well spun, but I can see
Still kind
that
of
that
about
argument.
the money, right? So, but
But no,
I,
but
I, I,
that's
I agree.
true.
I agree with that. That's why the whole trademark system exists. Trademarks are actually brand identifiers and source identifiers. So if you buy Coca-Cola, you know that it came from the Coca-Cola bottling company and that it's going to taste a certain way, and nobody else can sell things under that brand. So it yeah, and that's it. It really is for the public's protection as well as the owner's protection, the trademark owner's protection. So very well
Yeah.
said, Eric.
Yeah, that was great.
Renee, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I have a question about the trademark for Matt's dance move. It's a single image, is that right? So it's a design mark.
Yeah, it's a single image and it is a design mark. Absolutely. It sounds like you know a little bit about trademarks. So yeah, it's just a single move that he has trademarked. And if you wanted, he has a lot of moves, right? So he would have to file a lot of trademark applications if he wanted to cover each one. But he has sort of a signature move where he leans back, points his head into the sky, and puts his hand on his forehead. So it is kind of a trademark move, and he captured it in a drawing. So
Okay, I think that's super cool. I have not heard of any other trademark, as you have already said, like that. So I cannot wait to see it, and I'm interested to follow this story and find out like who licenses the image, whether it's going to be tattooed on a tattoo shop or yeah, certainly it's got a lot of potential. I think that's very exciting.
Yeah, so what a smart guy, right? To take his brand right now where he's super popular and turn it into trademark items with his own trademark brand on it. So his brand will live for a while, we hope.
yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Brian, what are your thoughts?
I actually have a question. So there are other players, particularly in the NFL, have sort of a signature celebration or a signature dance. And oftentimes you'll see the other team when that player doesn't do well or his team doesn't do well, they'll mock that dance or mock that move. So it's a little bit tongue in cheek, but could he actually sue anybody that mocks his signature dance moves for infringement?
No, unfortunately.
You'd have to be pretty creative with the lawsuit. I mean, yeah, you could maybe do something. Would he do it? Would the NFL let him do it? I don't know, but that's a great legal question, and
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe somebody will try it someday. We'd
But-
love to see that.
Yeah, so this particular trademark is for a class of goods, which is clothing. So you get a trademark in a different class. So if he had a class that addressed that, then
Yeah,
he
you
could,
could file
right?
it in a class for entertainment, and then
Yeah.
if the other player's image showed up on film, and you might conceivably try to enforce that.
Usually they
but-
get a flag for taunting, though, right?
That may be the remedy. Flag for taunting.
Taunting.
Well, that reminds me of Eric's story about carrying around the referee cards, so yellow and red cards. Maybe he'll tell us about that later in the show.
Yeah, if you have not watched Eric's video, if you go on his website, you can download this video. You have to give him your email, which is fine, but you get this video, and it is a powerful video. We watched it this morning. Amazing stuff. So.
But before we get to that, we have to take a commercial break. So you're listening to Passage to Profit, and we'll be back with more right after this.